Eric, how are we doing, brother? Eric the
Good,
Gaga.
good, bro. How are you?
Fantastic, man. Second time on this incredible podcast. You're an incredible person to have a conversation with. I'm looking forward to this, man.
Yeah, man. We gotta start with the obvious.
What's the obvious?
You released an album this morning, or your band,
This, yeah, today, yeah.
right after
Um,
Kendrick.
yeah, that's kind of fucked up that he did a surprise drop on us. No, I haven't heard the Kendrick yet. I'm sure it's great. But yeah, man, worked hard on it. It's just one of my many bands. But yeah, we worked hard. Recording was such a fun process. We recorded it at Chancho's house, Emilio. He's a fantastic musician, um, here in Houston, and he has great recording chops as well. Excuse me. And he helped us record. And then a buddy of ours, Rickpa in San Francisco, he mastered this album, so it sounds great, and it came out this morning, and I couldn't be more proud. It sounds great. It's definitely a different approach to the other bands I'm in. It's more of like a sludge kind of Sabbath Electric Wizard sound to what I'm used to, and you know what, I'm proud of it. I'm happy, and I have a gig tonight to promote the album, so it's a
Oh,
very yeah, it's a very eventful evening. There's a lot going on, so I'm still adjusting, I'm still processing, but man, it's a fucking easy, I'll tell you.
yeah, dude. Amazing album. It was really good.
You heard the whole thing?
Yeah, I heard the whole thing.
Yeah? Oh,
Beautiful.
that's fucking sick. Thank you, man.
I
You
think,
got a lot of go for it.
I was just gonna make a comment about the last song. Probably my favorite. Also, the length of it was very appropriate. Very good length.
There's uh there's some
Long
jams in this.
songs, long songs, but the length as a complete album, I think is good.
I appreciate that, man. We when it comes to writing a song that like surpasses the I'd say 7 minute mark, it's tricky, because it can be very repetitive, and it can be very you can lose interest very fast when
Yeah,
you're like 8 minutes into a song, and you're like, I mean, it's very easy to lose interest.
it's easy
Um,
when you're like 4 minutes in and then you check and you're like, we're barely
yeah,
half.
not even seven. I was saying 7 minutes. Like 4 minutes is honestly realistic.
No, no, no. But like you
'Cause
check your phone when there's 4 minutes left, and you're like,
yeah, and
there's
you're like,
another.
yeah, 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 man. So we try not to do that, and I mean, we have. I mean, I'm very honored to share a band with great musicians. Dean on bass, Henrik on guitar, Zach on vocals. I mean, I'm very grateful to be involved in such an amazing project, and and all the projects I'm in. I mean, as a drummer, I'm in too many goddamn bands, and I love them all. And releasing something with these bands is, I mean, there's no there's no way to describe how exciting and thrilling it is to work hard on something and finally seeing it like out in the public. I worked so hard on each album. I've been involved in many albums, and you think it'll get old after releasing 4 or 5 albums, but it doesn't get old, man. Just the feeling of working hard on something and kind of putting it out there to see how people react. It's beautiful, and I know you understand that. You know what that's like. Putting stuff out in public, such as your podcast or music. I
Yeah.
mean, Eric, you're just you're an incredible musician. You're
Dude, yeah, but my podcast is probably
mind
the
blowing.
I know, dude, and I hope to exploit that a little bit once I move to Austin, bro. Somehow. I don't know.
Why Austin, man? You can release music anywhere in the world.
Good point.
I
Yeah.
understand the hype of Austin, for lack of a better term, but man, just you have such I mean, you keep showing me all the stuff you're making. It's incredible, and it
Yeah.
needs to be out there. I mean,
We
it
gotta
needs to
we
be
gotta do that
public.
synth album, bro. When are we gonna do that?
This how do we
This is our
talk about the
official
synth album?
announcement.
I thought we announced it like like 3 years ago, Eric.
Dude, that's something really cool about you, bro. Like, it's so easy to talk about making an album, but dude, you look at your band like Jerkoffski or even Vermin, bro, where you
Mhm.
take that idea, like, because dude, an idea is worth nothing. And you look out into the world and you can say that every single thing that you can look at was first an idea. Everything came from an
Yeah,
idea, but
yeah.
that doesn't add value to the idea. You know, only the manifested
Hold
material
on, man.
is what adds
I'm
value.
so sorry.
No, go
I
ahead, go
believe
ahead.
that's no, no. It's probably Nico or Hayden. I just told him, hold on. I apologize. You know what? Hold on. We
No,
might
you're
have a
good. Go get it.
surprise. We might have a surprise guest here.
Okay.
So busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. Busy with what? With you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. All right, ladies and
Yo.
gentlemen, I present Hayden Crisp and Braden Wood.
Hey guys. The
What's up, viewers of
official
the world?
Vermin Vendetta band.
That's true. Well, I guess that's true. All right. Well, fuck it. This has turned into something I did not think it was going to turn into. Yes, so. All right. As the host of the show, you got any questions for these assholes over here?
I love your hoodie, Hayden.
Huh?
I love Hayden's hoodie.
Thank you, dude. I got the shirt on too.
Let's see
I got
it.
the Eric. That's the
Nice.
hoodie that I bled all over. I don't know if
Oh,
you remember.
really?
Well,
Hmm.
for your audience, we saw King Gizzard last weekend, and I guess the dry air and the allergies, it just kind of resulted into a wicked nosebleed. And I used my T-shirt that I was wearing at the time, and it got soaked in my blood. And the closest thing I could find to a towel or a napkin or something was Hayden's hoodie. So I used that, drenched it in my blood, and luckily it didn't get stained. It's true. But Eric's across. He's all the way over there. There he is. There he
Dude,
is.
at
That's
first
the
I thought it was
story.
gonna
That's
look really bad, but it looks fine.
no, it looks good. There's no stains or nothing. The hoodie's dope.
Yo, so
Huh?
Wax, what does the Vermin band think about Wax Wizard's new album?
That shit rips, dude. There we go. Brayden?
I haven't listened to it.
We listened to it last night. Brayden just had a couple of drinks
Like,
and
send me like the details about the show later. I listened to like 30 seconds of a song and then Joaquin took the speaker inside.
you leave us or book, have a look at it.
So I didn't really hear a whole lot of it. But it sounded like
Yeah.
Electric Wizard, which was I guess was the
That's the goal.
the goal.
We're big fans of
Um,
Electric Wizard, big fans of, I mean, the obvious ones, Uncle Ashton and the Dead Beats. I mean, Sabbath, of course. I mean, how can we talk about wow, this fucking asshole? You see what I deal with,
Yeah, Joaquin's
ladies
brother.
and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. I live with this guy. He lives in a specific room in my house, and it's not fun.
Dude, now that you guys are living together, does that make it a lot easier to make music together?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.
Absolutely. It's just the fact that, I have access, for Braden to play guitar anytime. Usually it would be Braden, he would just send me a voice memo or something of a guitar riff he wrote, and I try to figure something out. But instead, the fact that he lives with me now is I mean, he could show me something and I could get on drums. Um, Thing is, with work and all that, it's a little complicated,
Let
but
me, let me sit down for a minute. Let me talk to him for a minute.
holy shit, this has become a Braden interview.
Let me sit down for a minute.
Ladies
Pull a
and
chair,
gentlemen,
man.
Braden
Go
Wood.
get Nico's chair.
No. So this is what it's like, huh?
What the This is crazy. What the
It's
hell?
pretty wild.
What the fuck? All
I
right,
feel
Braden.
so
Hey,
sophisticated.
Answer the
so
question.
I have a question for Braden. We
Uh-huh.
recently went to the King Gizzard concert, and a lot of my audience are huge King Gizzard fans.
Uh-huh.
So I think it'd be interesting to ask about a nice critique on their concert.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I really wasn't paying attention to any of it. I was just kind of moshing.
Dude, I fucking
I was
saw
really
you
I
crowd
opened up a
surf,
pit.
bro.
I tried to make sure that everybody crowd surfed, every single one of my friends. I didn't want them to feel left out.
You
I
did a
didn't
great
crowd
job of
surf,
that.
bro.
Yeah. Well, I know I couldn't find your ass, dude.
I was hiding.
I was like swimming in people. It was freaking
Eric,
awesome.
I found you. It just I didn't know if I could pick you up, man. I'm
Dude,
weak. I got weak arms.
I'll take that as a
I ended up
compliment.
I ended up getting like sandwiched between like a fucking horde of people and this dude, this like fucking giant bald guy. He looked like Butterbean. You know who Butterbean is? He's a
No.
professional boxer. He's a fucking look at Jamie.
Mm.
Pull
He's a
that up.
tank.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah,
Pull that
where's
up, Jamie.
Jamie?
Yeah, dude, there were some people
He,
who just
he's
weren't
a tank. He's
moving.
a tank.
Like they were just standing
Dude,
there.
no, he. So I was fucking
I don't know
like
how.
I was like so close to the front, and I was like getting fucking like pushed up against this dude who looked like fucking Butterbean, except he was like 7 feet
He
tall.
looks like Jelly Roll, as a matter of fact.
No, he did, shut. And
Big
It's
dude.
nice to stand
I
next to
swear
those
to God,
people.
I had to keep my arms up like this in the air, and I was just like because I was so worried that I was gonna like dislocate my shoulder. My shoes came off a couple times.
Did
I
that,
told you,
Yeah,
Joaquin, I lost my shoes at my first King
I
Gizzard concert.
remember
I lost
during
every single one of my rings, and I had to hold on to my hat. So like whenever I knew it was gonna pick up and shit was gonna get crazy, I took my hat off and I just held on to it. Now it's fucking ruined.
I remember this and when they started playing this the song Perihelion. Pick him up, pick him up. But when they started playing the song Perihelion, this guy was holding up a shoe, just like screaming, "Whose is this? Whose is this?" Honestly, I'm surprised my shoe didn't come off. Oh shit. Well, clip
Pretty
that,
scum.
Eric. Put that on your podcast, man. That's a crazy moment.
Yeah, no, we gotta get Frisco in the pit someday.
This is where the views come in, man.
Give him some beer, throw him in the pit. Pretty fun. Let me get a little closer to you so we can.
Eric, let's talk about you, man. What do you how's well, Eric, you're about to graduate. What's the plan after graduating?
Yeah, dude. Hopefully, well, definitely moving to Austin. So honestly, I've no not a lot of expectations, kind of going in with a real go with the flow energy.
Mhm. What attracts you most to Austin?
Probably the comedy scene, bro.
Pretty big
I
out
feel
there,
like I
man.
could get some good guests on this podcast from those clubs.
Eric, how long have you been doing the psychedelic breakfast?
Dude, good question. I think maybe almost 3 years? No, maybe 2 years, dude. 2 years. And
Wow.
I think this third year is gonna be the one that seals it in, hopefully, knock on wood, you
Eric,
know.
you've had some incredible guests.
Dude, and I did all of that while in college, and it was really hard handling that.
Why did you
Handling
have who are some people that you guested or whatever?
Joaquin,
Uh-huh. Once
Nathan,
with Nathan, yeah.
once with Nathan and Joaquin.
Well, yeah, the only time I've been on this podcast was with Nathan.
I've
It was, that
guested.
was
Oh
fun.
yeah, you're right. You're right. I've guested John Williams' son, Vinyl Williams, who's a very sick musician.
Nick
Um,
from Frankie and the Witch Fingers.
yeah, Nick from the
That's a
drummer from Frankie and the Witch Fingers, the bass
Pretty
player
cool.
from Maestro Maya.
yes. Brandon doesn't
You
really.
should get Thundercat on here. You think
I
Oh,
had
we
it.
interviewed Dennis Ham, the keyboardist.
Yeah, his keyboard player.
you think you can do it with Thundercat? You think you can get through to him?
I think I could, but I don't know. I feel like
Busy.
he's important,
You can get. What do you mean? You've had very important people on the
That's
You're
true.
podcast
important
before.
too, Eric.
There you
Don't
go.
dumb yourself down like that, bro.
Now I've
You gotta
had
keep
Brayden.
you gotta keep your chin up, my boy. You gotta this is a world of this is the world of entertainment, my man. You gotta take that
Yeah.
shit whether it's coming with you or not.
Dude, I really want to interview Dean, bro, and Zach. Nice, bro.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Dean would be a crazy interview. I don't know.
Dude, Dean is so
He's
cool. The
gonna.
bass player from Wax Wizard, which by the way, what a crazy like story Wax Wizard has been
It's I bet you pop a squat.
from
It's a
what it has started.
It's a story, all right, man.
I
The
remember
band has
seeing them
been
for the first time with you in the 19th hole when it
back
was,
then. They were
what were they
Stone,
called? Stone? Yeah, that's right.
Stone. But the E was the three.
It was
Talking
so
about
different.
creativity.
It was so different. It was more technical, a lot more technical.
I mean,
Maybe
bluesy,
not.
southern, but like also just massive influences of Tool and Primus and kind of those like progressive bands. King Crimson, of course, that kind of stuff. And I love that stuff. So, years after, the only member they exchanged was a guitarist. His name, the new guitarist was named Judah. And at that point, they lost their drummer, and that's when they asked me to join, and I joined. And they still wanted to go this like the same route they were going through with Stone. At that point, they changed their name from Stone to Safer Alternative, and fucking Jacoby. Save that for another time, man. And yeah, and then they were still going this like prog rock kind of route. And I learned a bunch of those songs and I rehearsed, I got in. And at that point, everyone just kind of agreed like they were just sick of the prog rock kind of style. And everyone
Yeah.
agreed just to kind of, everyone just was like, fuck it, let's just become like a sludge metal band, a doom metal band or whatever.
And dude, another thing is that we were
And
constantly going to each other's concerts as well. Like,
Eric, when you lived here in town, we went to every show. Anytime there's a show, I mean, besides my shows, I mean, we just went to shows, and
yeah.
it was
And we were always
it was
talking and they would also be there.
and we had jams. I mean, back then I had a garage, and I just had any instrument you can name in
That
it.
was so
So I
cool.
I, I just I just invited musicians, and we just jammed.
That's
And
actually where we recorded the first podcast together.
and yes, that's correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
In that exact
garage.
garage. At that point, I wasn't playing as much. There was a period where I just kind of, I don't want to say I lost motivation or I lost inspiration, but just
You're also going through like a lot of personal shit at the time too, with
yeah,
like we all kind of were. There was a point in our lives where we were all living situations and whatnot. So
yeah.
whenever that happened, everything kind
That was like right as I got my first job ever,
of
right?
yeah.
So it was just crazy. Like I get my first job, I'm like, oh, how do I balance my personal life with my work life?
And there was
And
also you living in an apartment made it hard for us to get
yeah,
together. And I was living someplace else. We were all just kind of all over the place. So it was a lot harder for all of us and like all of the scenes and the bands because we're all kind of like every single person in Berman is also a person in somewhere else, who kind of holds it together. So whenever we were
Yeah.
going down, everything else kind of went down with it, unfortunately. But hey, you know what they say.
what did they say?
Get fucked. That's what they say.
It's a very
Yeah.
scrambled conversation.
And it was very sick, man. I love that energy of not a lot of pressure to put out stuff. Like, because if you have, and that's how I feel about school, bro. It's like, it's the same thing. I feel like school should be like the way music is to us, it should be
Mhm. Well,
adding to
no,
our life.
I don't exactly agree
It
with
should be
that.
helping us expand rather than making us be exactly like everybody else. And if there's too much pressure on making your music exactly the way it has to be, or your podcast exactly the way that, like your inspirations or whatever, then, you make it too hard for people to put stuff out and actually bring those
Well,
ideas to
isn't
life.
school likes to produce people that are the exact same?
Yeah, and so does the music industry.
Um, Not exactly, no.
Well, thankfully,
The
because
music industry it's pretty vague, it's pretty broad. They accept all sorts of stuff. It just, I mean, at the end of the day, the music industry it's just trying to sell a product, right? You have people like Chaperone, for example. she created a product, her hit songs, and that shit is selling like up the ass. I mean, her debut is selling like crazy. I mean, dude, I used to
I
work
saw
at a
her
record
live, bro.
store at ACL.
Yeah,
She was there.
it was crazy, dude. The
That's
crowd
great,
was
dude.
huge.
I'm sure. Sure was great. I nothing but respect for
She was cool.
the,
She was a good performer for sure.
yeah, I've nothing but respect for the whole modern, the resurgence of the kind of early 2012s, excuse me, early 2000s. I love the resurgence of pop scenes. But yeah, the music scene is just it's just selling a product, and it's just what sells more. As of recently, pop music, people like I mean, Taylor Swift has always been a fucking tank of an artist. I mean, selling, billions of dollars of records.
Here's the best example.
Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia
Here,
Rodrigo,
really,
fucking
I have a really good example.
Chaperone. Uh-huh.
Now, this is a different angle, but
Okay.
same idea.
Okay.
Recently, Fusi 2, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been like
Wouldn't
trying
what's it have to do
so
with
hard
music?
to create a rap album. He actually did put out a rap album with like some like really cool features, low key, kinda.
Okay.
And it's just like the complete opposite direction from like I don't know. It's like you start to wonder like what does that do a
That's
for music?
Eric, I love you, man. What the fuck does that have to do with anything we were talking about?
Well, we're talking about
But no, no, I see.
how big should
Because
that wall be to be able
whoa.
to to
Okay,
what's
my
acceptable
bad.
to put out?
Yes, I understand what you're saying now.
Because there could be negative
No,
like
I
aspects to it
knew he
too.
was, I guess, nowadays everyone is a musician, right? Specifically rap. Everyone's a rapper. Everyone can buy a fucking $100 Focusrite, interface, and they can
Right.
record onto GarageBand or Reaper or some free shitty DAW, and get beats off
It's
YouTube.
it's easier than ever for sure.
Everyone's wants a, it's the
It used to be a
easiest.
challenge, which would be cool. Because then if you really wanted to do it, you would have to, like pass almost like these tests. But it's also
Yeah,
really cool that someone like you in an early stage of a band could just put an album out and, put it on the same platform as everything else,
would love to see
or
a
my
statistic
podcast.
of like musicians like now.
Like if we're talking about grabbing an idea, like what is putting out an album? Like fundamentally, like it's the same concept of like grabbing an idea and bringing it like almost like a 3D
Well,
printer, you know?
that's the beginning of it. I mean, everything starts with an idea. For a musician, someone that knows how to play their instrument, it just comes with them fucking noodling on a guitar and a bass or a drum set, a keyboard, whatever. Um, it's just writing and albums specifically. I've been noticing how albums are just kind of mixed bags recently. I've always viewed albums as a very consistent sound, but I'm very happy, and you know I think it's cool that the fact that people just kind of writing all sorts of musics, bands such like King Gizzard, all sorts of genres, experimenting with anything and everything, and just tossing it out there. That's great.
Right.
But again, like you said, it all
Right.
starts with an idea, and
Yeah.
it comes with the hard part is producing that idea. Like recording an album is not easy. It requires a lot of equipment, a lot of time, a lot of knowledge, with sound engineering. Like, I mean, that shit really isn't easy. Like, it really isn't. I mean, like the reason there's so many rappers is like that's just so easy to record. You just need like a shitty little SM, 57 and a focus, right? And you could record anything you want, and that's great. Let everyone produce whatever they want. But like recording a band, um, you know, miking up a drum kit is a challenge on itself, and vocals and bass and miking up
Right.
amplifiers. I
And
mean,
dude, with Logic, if you just give a structure with chords, it'll give you automated AI drumming, keyboard players, bass players. Like you don't even need to know how to play an instrument. And that's been a thing for a while, you know, for you to be able to
so
play a keyboard on your computer keyboard that sounds
so
just as real.
you are do you use that feature? Do you use the AI generated like music?
I've messed around with it because sometimes, dude, when you're making something, I've challenged myself to see what's the best song I can do only using a computer and time constraints and stuff like that. And sometimes you won't put too much focus on certain things and then you'll hear it a few days later and you'll be like blown away for some weird reason. You know, you're like, did I make this? Like it just sounds different because you're just not
See,
focused.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. Don't you think it
About
like
using
takes
AI?
away? Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but like imagine if you don't know any theory at all and you just want to make a song. And then it's like crazy, you know?
But doesn't that kind of take away the whole point of music, the whole creativity of it?
Well, that's the question. Like what does that even mean? What does music even mean, you know? How important is
Yeah.
it to us, the quality, you know? Because the first time electronic music came out, it was weird, bro. You hear stuff like Revolution 9, you hear like people messing around with tape recordings, and that was a big time where music started being questioned as well, which is like, what's the difference between me playing something and like a synth just messing around with, frequencies? Like, or, there's this one song that this guy just sits on a piano and there's an audience and then he has a stopwatch or a metronome or something. And then he just turns on the stopwatch and just sits at the piano for like 7 minutes or something. And the song is whatever sounds are occurring during that set amount of time. Like that was a huge
Mm.
conspiracy. Like what is considered music as long as there's like a set amount of time between the beginning and an ending. And
Mhm.
and so and I don't think this is just with music. Like I think we're seeing this in every industry, bro. Like m movies, now you can ask AI to create a movie for you. I don't know, probably every industry. And that is just going to get
Absolutely.
better and better to the point where you can just think of something and have it manifest immediately.
Do you I guess
Maybe. That's a
are you looking forward to the evolution of AI?
uh I think a lot of systems will fall, but I think what will come
Mhm.
after that is going to be like the pure essence of creativity. Like no restraints, no limits, just
Really?
pure
AI,
right. Yeah.
which is generated by a you know cyber algorithm. I don't know the exact term, but you know it's computer generated. That is
Yeah.
not creative. I mean, that completely contradicts the whole point of creativity.
Well, let's look at
It's written out. I mean, it's programmed.
well, look,
Creativity is not supposed to be programmed. It's supposed to exceed, you know, as the most basic term is thinking outside of the box. The whole
right.
point of AI, it is written in the box. And goddamn, it's clever, it's intelligent. There's no denying that. However, I will never agree with the fact that AI can be creative.
Okay. I agree. Not creative, but
Okay.
we are creative, and it's going to completely disintegrate that barrier between our ability to create something. So we look at, for example, Lava, Death, Mushrooms, Planets, the music video for Iron Lung, dude. Probably one of the
Yeah, that was
greatest music videos of all time, if I may
I don't
say.
know about that. I'd love to touch back on this
Personally,
subject. Yeah.
I love that
Um,
music video. And
have you seen the what's it, It's like Queens of the Stone Age music video. No one knows. That's a
I
great
don't
video.
know.
That's a great video. Sabotage, Beastie Boys. Who else has a great fucking video?
Okay, but
Shake Hands with Beef, Primus. That video cracks me up. I don't know.
dude,
There's a lot of great music
King
videos
Gizzard
out
has
there.
some
I
really
mean,
good music videos too. Intra
who?
Transport, Intrasport.
Interest. Oh, Interest Part. Yeah, that music video is great. Yeah,
I
it's
love,
just the dudes
no,
getting stoned
it's
at their
not
at their.
it's
It's
not
a great
like
video.
objectively or subjectively the greatest music video ever. I agree. But like that was with early stages of AI that they were able to do that. And
Yeah,
if you take out AI, how long would it have taken Jason Galea to create a music video like that?
a long time. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it's AI. It's evolving by the minute. I mean, it's evolving by
exactly.
the second.
So those
So,
music videos are only gonna get crazier and crazier if
I mean, yeah,
Jason Galea has
they're
access to
being processed. I mean, at the same time of it being generated. So, which is a crazy fucking thought. The fact that it's producing something the moment it's being generated. I'm not exactly articulating myself correctly, but it's wild. And I,
Yeah,
the more it progresses, the more realistic it gets, the more I kind of realize, I don't want to say the word evil. I guess the wrong that could be used. I mean, it could be used to create, false information and whatever. I don't know. I believe it's a very dangerous weapon, and it's crazy the fact that our phones are capable of it. Any you know instrument we use is capable of producing insanely realistic images, insanely realistic articles. I mean, it can write for
right,
you, it can
right. Good
illustrate for
point.
you. I mean, it's
Good point.
frankly to me personally, it's quite terrifying. It's pretty scary, and it's something I think we're heading the wrong direction when it comes to this AI. And I don't know. I'm worried. I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
I hear
Go
you
for
in
it.
the sense that it's not a like for example using crutches, like if you use crutches when you don't need them and you just never use your legs, you're gonna end up having to need crutches because your strength your legs are weak.
Huh?
So, it's similar,
Nicely said, brother.
but I think that our like, because that's kind of where I get back into like that school idea that um there's something behind even, you know, because what is it? Is it a creativity crutch? Is that what we're looking at? Is that even possible? You know what
No,
I'm
Eric,
saying?
we're probably at like the most creative point we've ever been in. I mean, specifically our generation, people, we have access to everything. I mean, let's just use like the 90s or fucking before, like the 70s as an example. Um, it 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 would cost you thousands of dollars to produce an album or do anything like that. Now you can do it for nothing.
Same with the podcast.
You just need a laptop at this point. So we're creative peak in the sense that if someone has an idea, they can produce it like so easily with nothing.
Right. And yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think it could be a crutch, dude. I think the only thing it's doing is cutting away that wall. Like it's only giving us more tools. And if you for some reason believe that it's somehow taken away from your creativity, like I feel like humans have access to like an untapped, infinite pool of creativity, or like ideas. We have infinite ideas constantly. It's not like you can
Mhm.
stop your ideas. So my point is that, yeah, I don't know. I think as much as it can evolve, I agree with what you're saying. It's never going to compare to the actual hard work that it takes to put into an album and a podcast and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. We're just having a conversation here, you know? It's not even like it's that hard. Like, I just talk to my friends, man. And you could probably say the same about your albums
Eric, do
to
you
an extent.
see the possibility of AI generated podcasts?
See, that's the thing, bro. Like, that depends. How much do you want to glaze our friendship, you know? Like,
What do you mean?
like how, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it can come up with some of the stuff that we talk about, you know? I don't. I don't think so.
No algorithm could come up with a conversation like this. There
Right.
is, it's impossible to blend humanity and personality with
Right.
with an algorithm or a programmed AI. Uh,
Right now.
however, however, it's getting close,
It
you
is
know?
getting close. Yeah.
It's scary how, I mean, I'm seeing these like AI generated images or videos or whatever,
Yeah.
and fucking hell, it's it's becoming very inseparable, and that's what's scary. That's
Right.
what concerns me. That is like,
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a video of how this specific video I saw. It was a Taco Bell drive-through, and they're doing AI like through the drive-through. You know, someone asks you, "What do you want?" That's all AI generated. It's an AI voice asking, "Hey, well, what would you like to order today?" And you ask, and it gives it to you, and whatever. I mean, okay, there's one example. I mean, one of a million examples, but I mean, it's scary. Like Eric, you want to be a psychologist. I mean, you're majoring in psychology. Do you see that being taken over by AI?
Yes. I mean, humans have always done that though. Humans have always compared the human experience to the most advanced piece of technology that they have. We
Hmm.
used to compare our brains to catapults,
Hmm.
and now we compare them to computers. And if we had something better, we would be using that because the brain is the most complex thing that the human knows. So as
Hmm.
technology evolves, you could say that our understanding of ourselves also evolves. But it's more of like a perception, you know, like a choosing to see the world in that way. Because at the end of the day, you're just a human and a human being, you know, just seeing shapes and colors and interpreting them through a nervous system. But we can really romanticize that. Like, dude, yesterday I was at the Dallas Symphony watching a uh symphony from Beethoven and Mozart, and it was just so crazy to think like this is always going on. Like there's always people in some concert, in some beautiful concert hall playing Beethoven or Mozart and a bunch of people taking it super seriously. You know, like I don't know, that
Do you
just seems
believe
so
do you believe AI could create a piece of music like that? Something, you think a piece AI could generate something like a Shakespeare's work or Mozart's work or something modern like, Pink Floyd's work or something like that. I've heard AI generated music, and I don't know how to really express this.
yeah.
That's the thing. This is such a new concept to us.
Yeah, new problems.
It's still something we don't fully understand,
Mm-mm.
so I'm very curious about it. I'm open-minded to it. I'm open to see what it's capable of to help us, to help mankind. But I, you know, on the other hand, I also see the problems it can create.
Yeah, man. I mean, one thing I like to think a lot about is the concept of consciousness. Because as of right now, there is no way to quantize consciousness. As smart as you want to call the human species, they have not found a way to determine the difference between something that's conscious or in something that's not conscious, how to quantize and measure consciousness, which is a problem that we're coming with AI. You know, it's like how do we even argue about whether this thing is conscious or not? That there's no set definition of consciousness, really. I mean, there is, which is a subject experience that you're aware of. That's basically how we define consciousness at this point. But
How do we identify if this is conscious?
yeah, I mean, it's having an experience that it's
These
aware of.
programmed AIs that are now capable of, I mean, learning. I mean, these things are learning. I mean, this has been happening forever. You scroll on Instagram and it knows what you like, it knows what you watch the most, and it gives you more of that. I mean, these things learn and they're
Right.
consistent with that. So I mean, it's progressing by the fucking millisecond. So I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
And so, this one guy asked a Tibetan monk, maybe it was a Dalai Lama, um, uh, if a computer or some kind of robot could somehow be what do you call it, a vessel for the soul or for consciousness. And the Dalai Lama said that if you can create a technology that is just as advanced as a human body, then there's no reason why it can't hold a soul. Because that's just what the human body is. It's just something so advanced that it was able to tap into that infinite pool of creativity and
Mm.
pull in a soul or consciousness or whatever whatever the fragment of God that you could perceive yourself to be, which, it comes back to that concept of oneness, which is like if we're all part of that one, you know, energy field of infinity, then how is this something outside of it?
Wow.
Or we be the only things capable of harnessing that infinity? We're not the infinity. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're using it as a tool, as a bow or some shit.
Mm.
But
Wow, man.
but yeah, man, it's like what I was saying earlier is just like an idea isn't worth anything that's interesting. That's an interesting concept. Um, because some would say that everything that you're looking at w was originally an idea,
Yeah.
which is really powerful to think about just that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think it's important to just not be too much pressure on what art means, you know?
Yeah. No,
That's an unpopular
I
opinion.
understand that, but like, man, I'm scared of this progression and how fast it's growing. Specifically AI. I mean,
Yeah.
think about our next generation, what they're gonna do with the fact that we kind of came up on the beginning of it. AI generated music, images, whatever, etc. Um, think about it. What's gonna be like in 5 years, 10 years? I mean, it's gonna be just. I mean, I don't even know. It's going to be inseparable to what we see on the television, to what we
It's
see.
it's gonna be the apocalypse.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna be the apocalypse, bro. There's gonna be
Very.
no uh encryption. The AI is gonna be able to get through. It's in the internet. Everything that's been on the internet is gonna have access to. So that's all gonna break up like crazy.
A part of me is terrified, but the other part of me is intrigued to see, how's it going to end up.
Yeah, you were definitely living in the most exciting time in the planet's history.
It's interesting to see it all unfold. I'll say that. I'm here for it. I'll just be a spectator. I'm not going to pick sides. I'm not going to choose, but I'll definitely be a spectator. That's for sure.
You're gonna be the first in line to upload your consciousness into the simulation.
Take out all the trash. Huh? I took out all the trash. You guys need to put the food away. Thank you.
Hey, Matthias.
Yeah, that's Matthias. With that being said, it looks like I got some chores to do. Eric,
Dude, answer me
You
this one question
are
before you leave.
absolutely. I'm here, brother.
The last song on your album, Eat Acid, Talk to
See
God. What
God.
is it? See God.
Eat acid, see God.
Who is that talking in the beginning? Is that Timothy Leary? And the end, or is it Terrence McKenna?
I'm in the goddamn band, and I don't know.
Dude, I
Dean's
had a
gonna be
feeling.
here in an hour, and I'll ask him. He told me who it was. It just, one year out the other. I don't
It's
remember.
I have three guesses. Timothy Leary, number
Leary.
three.
It's not Timothy Leary. Who is this again?
Timothy Leary?
No, who's the second one you guessed?
Oh, Terrence
Oh,
McKenna. I don't think it's Terrence McKenna.
no, it's not.
And then Alan Watts. Probably Alan Watts.
It's no. Alan Watts is a very recognizable voice.
You don't think that was Alan Watts? Hmm,
No.
interesting.
You
Maybe
know,
it was none of them.
I'll ask Dean right now. I know it's from a TED Talk of some sort. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could answer that question. But anyways, Eric, you're great at what you do. Excuse me, you're great at what you do, brother. I mean, you're an incredible host. You ask fantastic questions. You engage
Thank you,
very
bro.
entertaining conversations. I mean, just I love the podcast. I love what you do. Just keep it up, man. That's all I
I
ask. Just
I
keep it going,
try
man.
I try to keep it seriously, but how serious can you be with a conversation with you? You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
to with
with me
respect to my
specifically, who knows?
listeners, with respect to my
Yeah,
listeners, to my three listeners, I know you
yeah.
guys take this very seriously. But if
I
I
mean,
took this seriously, which I do,
yeah,
I would never put out anything, bro. I have to put myself out there, bro. That's the only way.
absolutely.
Which is one of my questions for you, like how seriously do you take like the album for Vermin Vandetta, or how hard was it for you to like put out
Eric,
like Jerkoffski feels like a not serious release. It was like a let's do this, you know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely, it's serious,
with
but
a name like
also
Jerkoffski.
the point is to not take it so seriously, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying.
okay, we love King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
There we
What a
go.
stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
It's just about the product. Like we were talking about earlier. I mean,
You should say Wizard whatever. The
whatever. I mean, don't take it so seriously, man. Just have fun, and sometimes it works, and you can
Yeah,
make
put it
money
out,
off of
bro.
it. It's
Don't let the
unrealistic to make
pressure
money
stop
off.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also, yeah, don't try to make money from it. That's if that's your goal from making art,
yeah, that's the goal. I'd love to be a musician and make money off of it. However, that's very unrealistic.
you're
But
not. You if that's if you hope that that's gonna bring you happiness, then you're gonna have a very shitty album, bro. You know what I'm saying?
no, it's I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I'm young. You're young. We're still figuring
Yeah,
everything
but
out.
don't make art because of money though. Like that's
I'm not
cool,
there yet. I'm not there yet. I'd like to, but I'm not there yet.
but that can't be
As wrong as it
the
is.
limitation.
Yes, I know.
In a few years, that's gonna be
And I
easier.
know touring is exhausting and etc. But
Dude, I think about King Gizzard touring. Like I kind of got tired of their music from watching their streams so much.
that's what I was telling Ricky last night, man. I was like, I don't want
Imagine
to hear it.
imagine how they feel, bro.
Thank God they're done, man. Let them get some sleep and take care of their fucking kids.
Yeah, for
Eric,
real.
it's been beautiful.
Dude,
You are beautiful. Your audience is
thank you so
beautiful.
much, bro, for this
This
very
is
awesome
incredible.
conversation.
Pretty
Amidst
cool.
the all everything, the apocalypse, we were able to squeeze this.
Whenever that shit happens, we'll have another podcast in the middle of a dystopian future.
And we can do a callback to this moment.
Absolutely. I'm so for it. Eric,
All right, brother.
thank God for you,
Congratulations on
your
your album.
audience, your
It's gonna be
family.
it's gonna be in the description. Anything else you want to plug, bro? Any
Vermin Vandetta, Wax Wizard, Jerkoffski. We're about to have that album out. I don't know, man. Just listen to music, have an open mind, listen to new music, my music, anyone's music, Eric's music, it doesn't matter. Just
There you go.
yeah, man, be fun, be safe, don't be an asshole. Always look out for the new thing, always be open to new ideas. Um, we're in an age of information, we're in an age of progression, and just go with the flow. Love each other, be safe, treat each other well. Fuck it, be good people. That's it, man. Just be good people. That's it.
Dude, we're not gonna be able to end this podcast ever, bro. You just uncovered like 10 other topics.
Eric, we can talk forever.
Dude, thank you
Just
so
get
much for
over
your time,
here.
bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for
I
your
know, and you got homework. You got homework to do. I got a show tonight.
Hey,
I got
that's wait, we're both very important people. Let's just leave it at that. I'm just kidding.
everyone's important. Everyone's important, but we're
Everyone's
also very
important, bro.
insignificant.
We're all in the same pool of existence. Don't take a shit.
No, I'll take that back. No one's important, and we're just here.
Well, if you
Just
take
love
a
each other.
shit, if you do take a shit in the pool, everyone's gonna be affected. Everyone's gonna have to get out. So just don't do that.
It's a beautiful analogy. All right, Eric.
All right, bro. Hare Krishna,
I
bro.
love you,
Thank you
man.
so
Hare
much.
Krishna. Thank
There's
you for
gonna be
having me.
a lot of
Toodaloo, baby boo.
a lot of editing in this, bro.
Good luck.
Thank you, bro. I love you.
Love you, man.
Good luck in your show tonight, bro. Send me a video.
Thank you, dude.
I
I'll
wish I could be
try my
there.
best.
I wish I could be there.
I wish you could.
Say hi to everyone.
Is this still recording?
Yeah, say hi to everybody for me, bro.
Hello, everybody. Eric Psychedelic Breakfast,
Forever.
number one.